Well, the final home game for these Mets at Shea Stadium for the season. They're hoping this isn't their final game, period. Down 3-1. Game 5, Yankees and Mets. Al Leiter on the mound for the Mets. The starting lineup for the New York Yankees, brought to you by Coors Light. The Yankees will lead it off tonight with Jose Vizcaíno at second base. Derek Jeter back in the number 2 spot at short. David Justice is hitting third in left field. Bernie Williams cleans up, then Tino Martinez at first, Paul O'Neill in right, Jorge Posada does the catching, Scott Brosius batting 8th, and Andy Pettitte pitches and bats 9th. A couple of changes to the Mets lineup tonight. They line up differently in the outfield and on the infield. Agbayani, Payton, and Bubba Trammell in the outfield tonight. Trammell his first start, taking the place of the struggling Timo Perez, and on the infield it's Kurt Abbott in place of Mike Mordick, and in the center of that defense, 35-year-old left-hander Al Leiter.
Al's 11th postseason start without a win. That's the most postseason starts in Major League history. That's postseason, LCS Division Series, and World Series without a win. A hard, heavy cutter. Relies heavily on that. The one tough thing about Al Leiter, and you talk to the right-handed batters, he's very tough to lift. That's why he gave up only 17 home runs, or make that 19 home runs on the year. He uses a two-seamer. That's the outside fastball that Steve Lyons was talking about. And he changes at control to the other side of the plate. And an occasional changeup, occasional curveball.
Very serious conversations happen at home plate when the umpires gather and they get the lineup cards. John Stearns, wearing a microphone for us, had this to say to the men in blue here tonight.
All I can say is I hope we see everybody again this weekend. Like Sunday. I'm talking Sunday, not at Saturday. All right? Got to go 7 here. We got to get the most revenue out of this thing as we can, right? Major League Baseball, right, Jim?
Chris Shamble saying, yeah, right, John, sure.
John thinking of the industry, right?
Right. Here's Jose Vizcaíno leading it off for the Yankees with Jeter and Justice to follow. Little haze settling in over this Shea Stadium crowd from the fireworks that just happened as the Mets took the field. Away we go. Game 5. Glad you're with us. Ball 1. Vizcaíno started the first 3 games of this World Series. Sat out last night's game, and so far 4 out of 14 in this series against the Mets. To the right side, Alfonso. 1 out. So with that out of the way, Al Leiter will work to Derek Jeter, putting together fantastic career postseason numbers. He's booed as he walks in. One of the reasons last night, first pitch, Bobby Jones, home run, 1-0 Yankees, and they led throughout. 1 of 3-2.
Then Derek tripled his second time up and scored what was to be the winning run, the 3rd run in the 3rd inning against Bobby Jones.
Leiter misses inside with ball 1. Jeter is in 13 consecutive World Series games. That's a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. Broadcast also available in Spanish by utilizing the SAP button on your television. 1-1. Derek Jeter, and that's up and away. 2 balls and a strike.
Al Leiter is one of the few pitchers who can continually come inside when he's behind in the count. He has that much confidence in that cut fastball.
2-2.
2-1 fastball inside. The reason that most pitchers don't come inside when they're behind in the count is that is exactly what most hitters look for. They look for a pitch to jerk. he finishes Derek Jeter off with the slider. Here's what we were talking about. Now he misses with the first cutter, but on the 1-0 pitch, inside corner. The 2-1 pitch inside, and finishes Derek off with that nasty slider out of the strike zone.
I think it'll be very important for Al Leiter to get through this first inning unscathed. We know what a high-strung guy, emotional guy he can be out there on the mound. Always a danger, perhaps being a little too pumped up. We know what happens when a pitcher gets too pumped up in a ball game.
Yeah, that's a good point, because last year, Game 6 in Atlanta National League Championship Series, Al Leiter did not record an out in the first inning. It was 5-0 Braves. After one, as David Justice takes a ball. The Mets would battle back in that game, tied it, lost it 10-9 in Atlanta in the 11th inning on that bases loaded walk. Andy Pettitte getting ready for his turn on the mound as Justice is tied up, the ball and a strike.
Unrelated to the bullpen, one would think.
I would hope. Unrelated to the game, possibly. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 out, nobody on. First inning for the Yankees. Two and one.
Talking about emotions, Bob, it's very difficult for pitchers to do that because pitchers can't run. Outfielders can run it out. Infielders can run. They hit. They run the bases. A pitcher is confined to that small mound out there. It's tougher for him to get rid of those emotions.
3 balls and a strike on Justice. Justice took strike 2. One of the reasons Joe Torre wanted to keep Andy Pettitte in a Yankee uniform, the way he performs in big games, World Series games. The Mets lineup brought to you by Coors Light. Benny Agbayani's leading off in left field to see what he did this season out of that spot. Then Alfonso Piazza, Seal, Ventura, Trammell in the middle, with Peyton, Abbott, and Al Leiter pitching and batting ninth. No score after a half inning and a strike right down the middle to Agbayani. The Yankees had gone 12 straight innings with at least 1 base runner until Al Leiter set him down 1-2-3. 1 ball, 1 strike. Timo Perez sitting this one out at the start. Struggling at the plate. Even committed a couple of miscues in the field. That's the third. Tricky hop, long throw. Brocious got it. 1 away.
You can see that little nod from Brocious. Tino Martinez saving the infielders a ton of errors this year. Andy Pettitte in this postseason 2-0. He's similar to Al Leiter in they both have cutters. The biggest difference is that Leiter's cutter is heavier than Andy Pettitte. He's also improved against left-handed hitters. Only 1 left-hander has homered against him this year. That was Robin Ventura on the 6th. Make that the 10th of June. Working faster from the windup and between pitches.
Ball 1 to Alfonso. Only 2 out of 16 in this World Series. After base hits and RBIs, game after game in the first 2 rounds of the playoffs. Late swing, a ball and a strike. Well, starts for Andy Pettitte since his last home run allowed. That was to Troy Glaus of the Angels. strike two.
Mets have to find that formula they had against the St. Louis Cardinals. They scored in every first inning in the NLCS, a total of 12 runs. They've had one base runner in the first inning in the first 4 World Series games.
Off the glove of Posada, not off the body of Alfonso, and the count 2-2. Full count. Three-2 to Alfonso. Roches taking care of the first two out.
You know, guys, you would assume the Mets facing possible elimination here in the World Series. The guys might be wrapped a little tight before the ball game. Boy, Mike Piazza was really wound tight. Playing a little air guitar. He's a one-man air band out there in the outfield before the ball game today, listening to some Motley Crue. It's one way to get your arms loose before a game.
Sure. See, he's got a cymbal behind him in his drum kit. Playing the cymbal behind his head, had knee cymbals on. I'm sure he had the whole thing going. That's one way to loosen up before a game. The numbers for Piazza during the postseason in this World Series: 4 out of 17. He's homered twice. He bats with 2 out, nobody on in the bottom of the first. Strike one. One of Piazza's 2 home runs in this World Series last night. Off one leg, off balance, muscled it into the bleachers in left center off Denny Nagel. That made the score 3-2. That happened in the 3rd inning. And there was no more scoring the rest of the night. Smoking Joe hanging out here at Shea Stadium. He was here earlier in the year when we covered a Saturday game. No balls, 1 strike, 2 out, nobody on. Now 0-2.
I think he punched out the first ball that night, didn't he?
I think he did.
This is a pitch that Piazza's had trouble laying off of in this World Series. We've spoken in the past about how he's a good low ball hitter. The Yankees continually challenging up around the letters, and Mike's having a hard time laying off of that pitch.
Up the middle, a 2-out hit.
Most hitters are jammed like this. They don't hit it hard enough to get it by the shortstop. But again, that Piazza strength as he muscles it past Jeter.
That for Piazza gives him a 10-game postseason hit streak. He's on here in the first inning, and Todd Zeile prepares to walk into the batter's box. Big numbers in the postseason. 8 out of 17 in this World Series with 1 RBI. And 1 very important run scored. 1 on, 2 out. Strike 1.
Don't expect a big lead by Mike Piazza at first base. He was picked off by Andy Pettitte in Game 1. The only pickoff in the World Series. Pettitte with 42 pickoffs over the last 5 years, the most in the majors.
1 ball, 1 strike. It'll be like Little League where you have to keep a foot on the bag, or softball. He'll be close to Tino Martinez at first with 2 out and a 1 ball, 1 strike count on Zeile. Too far outside, 2-1.
When we were kids, we used to say, get a big lead, don't be a base sticker. Tonight, Mike Piazza's a base sticker.
Andy Andy Pettitte asking the home plate umpire Tim McClellan if it's okay on this cool night, 61 degrees. He blows hot air into that pitching hand. 3 balls and a strike on Siegel. The plate, Jeter to his left. A step on the bag, and game 5 is through 1 inning. A 2-out hit by Piazza. The Mets strand the first runner of the night. Second inning now. No score. Al Leiter, a perfect first inning with a strikeout of Derek Jeter mixed in, and now Bernie Williams, Tino Martinez, and Paul O'Neill. Bat for the Yankees here in the second. No score. Bernie 0 for 15 in this World Series. That's foul. Bernie hit a couple of balls hard last night, but into the evening 0 for 4. We talked about it last night. Amazing that a team be on the verge of what the Yankees are on the verge of, and that is 3 consecutive World Championships, 4 in the last 5 years, and yet their cleanup hitter, who's been their cleanup hitter basically throughout, the guy who has not hit much of anything in his career in the World Series. 1 ball, 1 strike. Outside, 2-1. Now 3 balls and a strike.
Bernie was having a difficult time reaching that outside pitch, the ball on the outside part of the plate. It's a common problem with hitters with an open stance where that left foot is pointed toward third base. Now he's more straight away. I think those swings that he's just had are the best swings that Bernie Williams had in the 4 games that we've had. I mean, those are authoritative swings that he just took on that cutter from Al Leiter.
It's not unusual when facing Al Leiter, even when you take a good swing, to hit the ball foul with authority, right, because of that cutter on the inside part of the plate.
Three balls, 2 strikes. Check swing, and Williams will see another pitch.
You hear golfers all the time talking about how you look better over the ball, you look better over a putt. Bernie Williams looks better at the plate tonight.
A 118 career hitter during World Series play. He waits. He gets a piece of it. The New York Mets are 8-4 here at Shea Stadium in their World Series history. They have never been eliminated at home in a postseason series. Bobby Valentine and these Mets trying to get the World Series back to Yankee Stadium for a game on Saturday night. Well hit into left field, down the left field line. It is gone. A home run. Bernie Williams breaks through, and so do the Yankees. They lead 1-0.
think the hitting instructor, Chris Chambliss, squared Bernie up a little bit tonight. Talked about the swings leading to the home run. Boy, did he hammer that pitch. Wow. This is a cutter that doesn't cut.
Ball, one strike.
Watch him hit against that front side. That's a powerful swing. That's the swing Yankee fans are used to seeing.
Now Martinez pops it into left for Piazza. 1 out.
But Bob and I were talking about, look at the pitch sequence. That first pitch hit hard, foul. And he takes the pitch. 3-1 pitch, check swing. Good swing there, better swing there, right there. On the 8th pitch, a home run.
One out, nobody on, and Paul O'Neill gets one up and in, and O'Neill able to get out of the way. That have a little purpose behind it?
Maybe. All part of the game. Paul O'Neill certainly understands that. Now Leiter moving O'Neill back with that tailing fastball.
And I, for one, don't really have a problem with that pitch. Throw him below the shoulders, at the belt, push him off the plate, trying to work that outside corner.
2-0 now. Paul O'Neill 9 out of 16 in this World Series.
Been wearing the Mets out. Kind of a surprise that they've waited this long to come inside.
So Bernie Williams puts the Yankees on top here in the 2nd inning. Now 2-1 on O'Neill. You have to go back to game 2 of last year's World Series for the last hit for Bernie Williams, and back to the '98 World Series for his last RBI. But he has one here in game 5, and the Mets were talking about trying desperately to get the early lead here tonight. But it's the Yankees on top in the 2nd. Now the 2-1 to O'Neill, 2-2.
Interesting point, Joe, because this is the 41st inning of this World Series. 41 innings, and the Mets have had the lead in 5 innings.
Two balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, nobody on, and a run home for the Yankees. Breaking ball stays inside, full count. Dave Wallace, the pitching coach for the Mets. Not a guarantee that he's coming back for the 2001 season. Three balls, 2 strikes. 2 out. Second strikeout for Leiter.
This is the ideal place to pitch left-handed hitters. That's where you tie them up. Tailing fastball inside. High thigh high.
I think Paul O'Neill thought the ball perhaps hit the ground before going into the mitt of Mike Piazza, but that was not the case.
You caught that?
Trying to buy one more swing any way he could.
Sure. 2 out, nobody on. Posada takes a ball. Jorge batting the number 7 spot for Joe Torre tonight. Same look at the bottom end of this lineup as Torre put together for game 4. Really the only change is the top 2 spots. Jeter led off last night, made an immediate impact. Sojo hit second, and second tonight is Vizcaíno playing second, leading off. Jeter batting second. Otherwise the same cast. One ball, 1 strike on Jorge Posada. To the right side, tricky hop. Alfonso takes care of it. And the Yankees are finished in the second, but not before Bernie Williams gets his first hit of this World Series. He made it count. That puts the Yankees on top as Game 5 goes to the bottom of the seventh. The Bud One Airship has been with us throughout this World Series, seen by millions on its ongoing Goodwill Tour. Budweiser, the official beer of Major League Baseball and the World Series. Up above, down below at Shea Stadium. This game goes to the bottom of the second with the Yankees on top. 1-0 on a home run by Bernie Williams. Robin Ventura takes the ball high. You go back through the postseason history of Andy Pettitte. He's won some big games in the World Series for the Yankees. He's only 28 years old. 2-0. He won the clincher Game 4 in '98 back in San Diego. 7 1/3 innings, no runs on 5 hits, a 3-0 win. Then with the series tied 2 games apiece back in '96, he won Game 5 in Atlanta, beating John Smoltz 1-0, putting the Yankees up 3-2. As that World Series headed back to Yankee Stadium, the Yankees won Game 6 in that World Series, starting this run. 2-2 now on Ventura.
That 1-0 win in Game 5 of the '96 World Series, as we look at Mike Hampton, who would start on Saturday night against Roger Clemens if the Mets win this game. But that 1-0 game, that was the last game of Fulton County Stadium in Atlanta before they moved across the way to Ted Turner Field.
The 2-2 to Ventura. Full count. Even with that postseason and World Series success, even with Pettitte being a young left-hander, the boss, George Steinbrenner, had lost faith in this young man from Deer Park, Texas. Ventura stays alive. The count stays 3-2, and the call was out. It was very close. The Yankees trading Andy Pettitte at last year's trading deadline, but the baseball people of the Yankees stepped up and said, we can't do it. Young left-handers this talented, this stable, are too hard to find. They hung on to Andy Pettitte. I'm glad they did. 3 balls, 2 strikes on Ventura. Got it. 1 away here in the bottom of the second. And here's Andy Pettitte talking about that situation at last year's trading deadline.
If it wasn't for Joe, I definitely would be gone, I believe. I think, you know, that the organization already gave the okay to go ahead and get rid of me. And it was understandable. Joe stood by me and knew that I was in a funk and that, you know, that I'd get out and that, you know, I was strong enough mentally and physically to get out of it. And, you know, I owe him a lot for that.
But it misses to Trammell, ball 1.
Joe telling us before the game that Mel Stottlemyre had a lot to do with that too.
That makes it 2-0. Torrey telling us Mel Stottlemyre was so firmly behind Andy Pettitte. That's all I needed. But he knew for himself that sure, these guys don't come along very often. Big, strong, left-handed pitchers who run the count to 3-0 on Bubba Trammell with 1 out in the second. Since that trading deadline last year, during the regular season, Pettitte, since that deadline, is 26-12, most wins by a Yankee, 4-0 in the postseason. 3 balls and a strike. Jay Payton next. A 1-out walk. Payton walks in 5 out of 17 in this World Series. There was obviously a chance that after Bobby Valentine made the decision that Timo Perez would come out of the lineup for tonight's game, Payton had a chance to lead off. Bobby Valentine likes Bayani in that #1 spot. He's been productive out of that spot this season during the regular year when he's been in there. It's Peyton batting in the #7 position. He takes ball 1.
Bobby likes the fact that Benny Agbayani, should the bottom part of the order for the Mets get on base, he's a guy that can drive in runs out of that leadoff spot, and he's really developed a lot more patience at the plate, ability to lay off those tough pitches.
But it falls behind 2-0. Kurt Abbott waits on deck. You say something if we could explain why he's on the phone, but I can't.
Is that a payphone?
2 balls, no strikes. 1 on, 1 up. And a check on Trammell.
We have kidded the last couple of days about Zanesville, Ohio. Matter of fact, it's probably gotten more mentions in the World Series this year, too. This is the 3rd one. But Jay Payton and Kurt Abbott are both from Zanesville, Ohio. And what is it, Bob? A town of about 25, 30,000?
I believe around 25 or 30,000.
That's on the outside corner, 2-1.
Pretty good representation for a town that small to have 2 in the same lineup in the World Series.
Hitting back-to-back 7 and 8 for the Mets tonight. Abbott on deck. Payton will cut it loose if he sees something he likes. Up on the count, 2-1. He liked it for a while. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Good downer right there. Wicked curveball from Andy Pettitte.
Pettitte fell behind Ventura 2-0. Came back and struck him out. Fell behind Trammell 2-0. Walked him. He's 2-0 on Payton, and now it's 3-2.
Bubba Trammell will be off right here, but remember that Andy Pettitte pickoff move. He has not shown it to the Mets tonight. They realize how devastating it could be. You could not get picked off in this situation. Shocked he wasn't running.
Rookie Wilson goes over to talk to Trammell.
I think he missed a sign. You got to run in that situation. You got the lower part of the order up. You try to get a runner to third base so he can score on something other than a hit. You certainly can't depend on Al Leiter driving in there. You got to run in this situation.
Staying put. And it's still 3-2 on Payton.
I don't understand that strategy right there. Ground ball pitcher.
Now a throw.
That Andy Pettitte pickoff move that's produced 42 pickoffs over the last 5 years. That wasn't even his best one right there. That was just a show-me move over to Bubba Trammell at first base.
Can't be so concerned with that move, though, that it changes the way you play the game.
Right.
Trammell stays put. There's a floater into right center field. It's going to get down. Trammell will go only to second, and because the Mets did not start the runner, it's first and second with 1 out here in the second. John Stearns, the bench coach for the Mets, had this to say about the move of Andy Pettitte.
You guys move so good we can't even move from a 3-2 count.
Why not? You're not running to steal the base anyway. You wait until he releases the ball. It's up to the hitter to put the ball in play. If the Mets are running there, Bubba Trammell ends up on third base.
Now Abbott hits it foul down the left field line.
This is why Bubba Trammell does not go to third base. You can't take the philosophy that a pitcher's move is so good that you can't run on a base hit. And that stymies you too much.
One ball, one strike on Abbott. Abbott has had 3 plate appearances in his career against Andy Pettitte. He has a hit. He has 2 walks. In the lineup tonight for the struggling Mike Piazza. He's 1 out of 8 in this World Series. 4 out of 33 in the postseason. Broken bat. Jeter. Only 1 play. Out at first, 2 out. And at second and third for Leiter, who didn't have an RBI all season.
Abbott jammed with that cutter, and Jeter making sure of 1 because of that fact. Now Leiter only 3 for 58 on the year. Right in on the handle.
So second and third, 2 out. Leiter now 3 out of 58 at the plate during the regular season. Ball 1. By his own admission, Leiter is one of the weaker hitting pitchers in baseball. Andy Pettitte trying to pitch around a walk and a single. Drops down a bunt, right side. The play to first. Safe. A run scores and the game is tied.
About that, I think he will get a base hit on this. A little double clutch by Tino Martinez, and that is rare. And then a double clutch by Andy Pettitte.
The initial double clutch by Martinez threw off the entire timing of the play. Pettitte trying to find the bag and the ball at the same time. Doesn't come up with that toss from the Yankee first baseman.
Down first and third, 2 out, and Agbayani rolls 1 to third past Brocious. Payton scores. It's 2-1 Mets. Two slow rollers for the Mets here in the second, and they've taken a 1-run lead.
2 rollers that traveled about 140 feet, 70 feet each. Scott Brocious tries to barehand this ball. It's tough when the ball bounces that high. Tough to gauge the bounce. And it goes under his hand. After the bunt RBI, the infield hit by Agbayani, and the Mets take the lead. Man.
Now it's Alfonso. Ball 1. So 2 official scorers' rulings on the ball dropped down by Leiter. The bunt down the right side. They've given an error to the pitcher Pettitte. No RBI. And for Agbayani, a base hit and an RBI. 1 ball, 1 strike on Alfonso.
Brocious reaches down for the ball and comes up with air, and the Mets come up with the lead.
Two balls and a strike. Alfonso only 1 RBI in this World Series. He had 9 in the first 2 rounds combined. 0-2. In this inning for the Mets, a one-out walk to Trammell, a flare hit to right center by Payton. After Abbott grounded out, Leiter dropped down a bunt, an error on the play, and then a slow roller down the third baseline that went as a hit as Brocious couldn't come up with it. Alfonso pops it up right side. Vizcaíno inning over. Al Leiter saying, well, if I don't swing it well, I'll drop one down and put pressure on the defense. That worked to tie it. Agbayani jammed the roller. Brocious couldn't make the play. 2-1 Mets after 2. Back after this from your local Fox station. Al Leiter finished running the bases. Now he's back to the hill. Third inning, 2-1 the Mets lead. Coming up tonight and every night, it's the 11 p.m. Regional Sports Report on Fox Sports Net. 30 minutes of nightly sports news completely dedicated to local home teams. So check out the 11 p.m. Regional Sports Report nightly, only on Fox Sports Net on your local cable or satellite provider. Before the start of the third inning, let's go down to Keith Olbermann. Keith?
Joe, Al Leiter was about halfway to the plate from the on-deck circle before that bunch when he realized he had the wrong bat in his hands. We're not sure what he liked about the other one. It looked like it had a little bit more pine tar on it, but there exists the possibility he has a bunting bat, Joe.
All right, Keith. As it is, 2-1 Mets, third inning, and a breaking ball misses to Brocious for ball one. Brocious, then Pettitte, then Vizcaíno for the Yankees, who had a short-lived one-run lead. Broken bat. Todd Zeal. 1 out.
Nobody in baseball can chew up bats like Al Leiter. We were kidding in the NLCS about how it should be Al Leiter who signs a bat contract. And here he's changing bats to, as Keith suggested, this bunting bat.
Well, Leiter's certainly familiar with hitting, being a National League pitcher, but Andy Pettitte just walked to the plate with his jacket on.
You saw that too, huh?
Had to be called back from the bench. He had his warm-up jacket on as he got near the batter's box and had to go back and give it to the bat boy before taking his at bat.
No balls, 1 strike. Strike 2.
Oh, you can't hit with this on, huh?
Nothing and 2 on Pettitte. 0 for 5 at the plate this season during interleague play. 1 and 2. Third strikeout for Al Leiter.
That bunt by Al Leiter not only got the first run in, got the second one in too.
Again, an error on the play, so 2 unearned runs. 2 big ones for the Mets, down 3-1.
Runners are on at first and third. Make that second and third, and Leiter finds the seam between the pitcher Andy Pettitte and the first baseman Tino Martinez. Momentary juggle, but if Andy holds on to it, they just get Leiter.
Now 2 out, nobody on. Vizcaíno. Ball 1.
You're right about that, Bob. There is a timing play right there, and that momentary juggle in the bare hand of Martinez threw off the timing of Andy Pettitte.
Cutter, 1 ball, 1 strike. Talked about Al Leiter growing up a Mets fan in Toms River, New Jersey. Tim talked about during the opening that Al Leiter was originally a Yankee. Wound his way eventually into a Mets uniform. Not only either their #1 or #1A starter with the Mets this season, but very active in the community. Received the Roberto Clemente Award for the work that he does off the field. Good man. 3 balls and a strike. 2 out, nobody on. Vizcaíno takes strike 2.
Just on the corner to Vizcaíno.
Got him looking. Back-to-back strikeouts in the third. 4 on the night for Leiter. The Subway Series continues tonight, Game 5, and after 2.5, 2-1 Mets. Leiter talking to his catcher Mike Piazza after the top of the 3rd inning. Even if he pitches well here tonight, he'll be talking about that bunt first thing, and then he'll talk about the way he pitched. Ball 1 inside to Piazza, with Zeal and Ventura to follow. 2-1 the Mets lead. Bottom of the 3rd inning, the Yankees 1 win away from their 26th World Championship. 1 ball, 1 strike. Piazza muscled the ball up the middle for a base hit his first time up. Wonder if Mariano Rivera will be a factor tonight. To the left side for Brocious. 1 out.
If Mariano Rivera is called upon late in the game, obviously it would have to be with the Yankees on top. Joe Torre telling us that it will be for 1 inning and 1 inning only. That could change, but that's unlikely because the Mets or the Yankees have a 3-1 lead. You want to go against that this early in the series.
Definitely a different style to managing this game for Joe Torre opposed to Bobby Valentine for obvious reasons, but to go along with what you say about Rivera, he worked 2 innings last night through a lot of pitches, and that would be probably the main reason why Joe Torre would be unwilling to go with Rivera for more than 1 inning. 1 ball, no strikes, 2-0 on Zeal. Bounced into a force out his first time up. Zeal, who was managed by Joe Torre for the early years of his career in St. Louis, some thin years for the St. Louis Cardinals. Joe Torre and Todd Zeal left St. Louis the same day in '95. That's over the inside corner. And strikeout number 2 for Andy Pettitte. So Zeal is gone. That's the 2nd out here in the 3rd inning. Joe Torre was first hired here in New York. The headlines were unkind to the hiring selection of George Steinbrenner. Bringing Joe Torre to New York. He had managed with the Mets. He had managed with Atlanta. Ventura grounds to the right side. Backhanded stab by Vizcaíno. After that time in St. Louis, he certainly had the weapons to work with starting in '96 with the Yankees. They've won 3 or 4 world championships since. The St. Paul Company's trivia question: who was the last player to steal home in a World Series game? Tim, you're exempt from this. You've been around a lot longer than Bob or me. So, Bob, I leave this one up to you. Derek Jeter first up. And a ball outside.
Well, there was obviously somebody with blazing speed. An alert base runner, heads up base runner. Yeah, you know, maybe somebody like Maury Wills or Ricky Henderson, somebody that could really burn down the bases.
1 ball, no strikes. Jeter in the air to left. Out by Yanni, back to get it. Off the hands for Derek Jeter. 1 out. Do you know the answer to this, by the way, Tim?
Yes.
Let's look at the replay.
Okay, Derek Jeter, the cutter, gets inside on Derek. That's where American League pitchers, that's what they try to do, is work him inside. Perhaps the most animated pitcher in baseball once he releases the ball and before he releases the ball.
David Justice now with 1 out, nobody on. Inside, drives Justice off the plate, and again, as Leiter did with O'Neill back in the second, he moves a lefty off the plate.
He did it to Paul O'Neill twice, and now to David Justice.
O'Neill's talking about that very pitch back in the second, talking to Roger Clemens of all people down in the Yankee dugout. Roger Clemens wondering if he will get another turn this season. He is the scheduled starter for Game 6 if necessary on Saturday night. 2 balls, no strikes. Justice goes the other way and out by Yanni. Takes care of the first 2. That's 8 straight retired by Al Leiter. Stay with the pitching theme and look at the Game 6 starters if necessary. The Yankees lead this best of 7 3-1. Mike Hampton against Roger Clemens, a rematch from Game 2. Clemens was fantastic. 2 hits, taken out after 8. Said his back stiffened up on him a little bit. Struck out 9, walked no one through 112 pitches. Here's Bernie Williams, who popped one over the boards back in the second for the only Yankee run. He takes ball 1.
Funny about the scoring in this game so far. Bernie Williams has hit one about 395 feet for the Yankee run, and the 2 runs scored by the Mets went a cumulative 140 feet.
Left side through the hole. Williams 2 for 2. And this top of the 4th inning continues.
Abbott and Ventura did not have a big hole between them. That ball had enough topspin to eke its way to the outfield.
For Tino Martinez. 1 on, 2 out. Martinez flying to left, his first time up. He has hit in all 4 World Series games so far in this matchup. Strike 1.
Boy, is he wicked on left-handed hitters. Chews them up. Tino Martinez over the top of the cutter. 14 for 116 on the year were left-handers off Al Leiter for a 119 batting average.
Opposite field. Playable. Ventura. Bottom of the 4th. A 2-out hit by Williams. Martinez fouls out. Bottom of the 4th inning. Bottom of the order for the Mets, who lead it by 1. Bottom of the 4th inning now, and the Mets bat. Bubba Trammell, who walked and scored his first time up, leads off against Andy Pettitte. And takes strike 1 over the inside corner. Trammell, then Payton, then Abbott. Anybody gets on. Al Leiter. Base hit. Off the end of the bat, and Trammell's aboard for the second time tonight. The St. Paul Company's trivia question: who was the last player to steal home in a World Series game? Let's roll the tape. Go back to October 1964. Tim McCarver on your left. His battery mate Bob Gibson. That's Maxville swinging and missing. That's our buddy Mike Shannon on the front end. And it's Tim McCarver, game 7 of the World Series in '64, stealing home, the last player to do it.
Does that count back into the double steal?
Absolutely.
Does it? Okay.
Nice slide by Mike Shannon at second base, by the way.
He went in hard. Woo. 1 on, nobody out, and a check on Trammell. By the way, the last straight steal of home, in case you're wondering, Jackie Robinson, game 1 of the 1955 World Series.
And Yogi still contends that he was out.
One on, nobody out here, and Jay Payton waits. Takes the ball. Payton singled and scored his first time up. He floated a hit into shallow right. On the play, Trammell stopped at second. Then after Abbott broke his bat, grounded weakly to short, the runners moved up to second and third. Leiter dropped down a bunt. An error to score a run. On that play to tie it. And then a roller that got past Brocious for an RBI off the bat of Agbayani. Force out at second. That's it. The ball hit by Payton. Score at 4-6. Talk about Jackie Robinson, and here is Jackie Robinson. And Yogi's reaction, ripping off his mask, and to this day contends that he was out.
He does indeed.
Number 42 retired throughout baseball for the late Jackie Robinson. And here's Kurt Abbott. The bats with a runner at first, Payton, and 1 out. Not only do these Mets to this point have no thoughts of stealing a base, the leads that these Mets are taking at first base are, what, a step and a half, 2 steps at the most.
You confuse the base runner at first with the first base coach. They're right next to one another.
1 on, 1 out. Abbott missed it by plenty. Abbott's got a little pop in his bat. He hit 6 home runs during the regular season, but hit only .217. Was bothered by a bad back. Had a disc problem back there. So far in this postseason, he's 1 out of 11. 2-1, the Mets lead. Bottom of the 4th here in Game 5, with the Yankees up 3 games to 1. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Kurt Abbott, a hard-nosed player, and has a World Series ring to his credit. His ex-manager Jim Leland, who is no longer managing, is a scout for Tony La Russa and the St. Louis Cardinals. He loved Kurt Abbott.
Balls and a strike. Something that Bob brought up earlier, and it's already paid off. Benny Agbayani in the leadoff spot, more of an RBI man than Timo Perez. So this an important at bat for Abbott if he can get on and give Leiter a chance to bunt. And instead of Perez in the top spot, it's Agbayani. Count goes to 3-1 on Abbott.
And with first base open, Al working on his bunting right there. With first base open, there's no way you could pitch around Agbayani because Edgardo Alfonso would be the hitter with the bases loaded.
3 balls and a strike. Andy Pettitte behind in the count. Doug McGraw coined the phrase in 1973 around here. You gotta believe. Those signs are filling this stadium. 3-1. Shattered bat. That ball will get out of play. And now the crowd, the reaction with the shattered bat. A semi-smile from Derek Jeter as this crowd reacts to Derek with the business end of that shattered bat.
Looked like Derek kind of got caught up in the fun of it with his glove down there. You may remember Roger Clemens almost caught it in his glove.
And after Jeter handed it to the bat boy, this crowd erupted with applause.
We have another situation, guys. 3-2, 1 out. The pitcher on deck. A running situation. Bobby Valentine did not do it with Bubba Trammell. We'll see if he does it with Peyton. You got to send him in this situation.
Not running as Abbott fouls it out of play. And there's Jeter fighting back a smile with all that happened in game 2. Thankfully, the focus has returned to the game of baseball and not what went on the mound.
You saw the reaction of Andy Pettitte. Your first instinct is to follow the flight of the ball, and then your peripheral vision, you see the barrel of the bat coming your direction. Pettitte thought it was a lot closer than it was.
So again, a 3-2 pitch. Again, Peyton doesn't run, and again, a foul ball out of play. This has got you shaking your head.
Yeah, I don't understand. I mean, if he does run and there's a hit to the outfield, Peyton goes to third easily at first and third. Running situation. Also, if you don't run and a ball is hit relatively hard at a middle infielder or third baseman, double play, your pitcher leads off the next inning. The move of the pitcher should have nothing to do with whether you run or not on a 3-2 pitch.
Abbott hanging in there. But it only underlines yet again the effect that Andy Pettitte and that move has on the running game.
Yeah, and the Mets are overreacting as a result, in my view.
Up to 70 pitches here in the 4th inning. Joe Torre expects 7 innings out of Pettitte tonight. That's low. And it's 2 on with 1 out. Second walk handed out by Pettitte.
Terrific at bat by Kurt Abbott. Last time up, Al Leiter. Runners on at second and third and 2 outs, with the Mets trailing 1-0. Mishandled by both Martinez and Pettitte. Pettitte charged with an error, and that tied it. Agbayani's hit put the Mets ahead.
The world expects a bunt here. First and second. 1 out. Throw to first, and they pick off Abbott. What a play by the Yankees as Tino Martinez sneaked in behind the runner. 2 out.
Mookie Wilson is the guy who makes this call, and you can see Kurt Abbott totally fooled as Tino Martinez normally would play in front of Abbott, but because the play is on, he's behind him. And Kurt Abbott is dead at first base. That changes the complexion of this inning.
Now Leiter waits for the first pitch. And a breaking ball's in for strike 1.
Got to be a little leery. Excuse me, Joe. You got to be a little leery whenever a first baseman is behind you in that situation. Reason for that, in a bunting situation, runners on at first and second. You're at first. The first baseman is always in front of you. When he's behind you, something's on, and it was.
Now Abbott is off. In the dugout, runner at second, 2 out, and the 0-2 to Leiter. The shortstop Jeter. And this game is through 4. Game 5 finished with 4 innings. interesting inning all the way around, including this, the pickoff at first, and after 4, still 2-1 Mets. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Commissioner of Baseball and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. The accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent of Major League Baseball. 5th inning now. Those two are becoming fast friends, Billy Crystal, Bud Selig. Billy Crystal putting a movie together that involves Julia Roberts. Maybe there's a role somewhere for Bud. Paul O'Neill leads it off here in the 5th inning. O'Neill, Posada, Brocious. Strike 1.
We talked about Al Leiter's dominance against left-handed hitters this year. In the 2nd inning of Game 1, Tino Martinez and Paul O'Neill, 2 left-handed hitters, got 2 singles in the 2nd inning against Al Leiter. What's so great about that? Well, it's the only time that 2 left-handed hitters have gotten hits against Leiter in the same inning this year.
Too far inside, 2-1. The combination of Williams, Justice, Martinez, and O'Neill check into this game a combined average of 173 lifetime against Al Leiter. The first game, the lefties were 3 out of 9 against Leiter. A group of left-handed hitters that hit left-handed pitching well this season for the Yankees. Breaking ball, that's why Leiter can handle these lefties. O'Neill was frozen. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Well, that's why Leiter works O'Neill inside. Paul becomes so conscious of that fastball in off the plate. And normally a breaking ball that he handles, he doesn't even attempt to swing at.
O'Neill spoiled it. Leiter not only handling lefties in that first game. The right-handers were only 2 out of 16, and Leiter was in line for the win until Armando Benitez blew the save in the 9th inning. That was Game 1, the 12-inning game. There's the 2-2 to O'Neill. Breaking ball stayed too far inside, full count. O'Neill was at that pitch's mercy, but it stayed in. 3-2.
Combination of a heavy bat, the pinching for hitting balls to left field anyway, and Al Leiter keeping the ball away. He will hit the ball to left field if he makes contact.
Up the middle, Abbott to his left. Fields throws, got it. And O'Neill starts to argue.
That's the first thing. Lee Mazzilli getting Paul O'Neill out of the way of Jerry Crawford, the first base umpire. Now Joe Torre takes over. You don't want to lose your right fielder, especially since he's been so hot. Another look. Fine play by Abbott, throwing on the run. Another look. Close.
See why O'Neill was arguing.
Yep. Looked like he beat the play.
Lee Mazzilli, the first base coach for the Yankees, puts that sensor on when it's a guy like Paul O'Neill. on a close play as Piazza floats one into left field for a one-out hit. Paul O'Neill, one of the most temperamental players. It's part of his game. He's an intense player. He knew that an argument was coming right there. And Mazzilli came in, and the first move for Mazzilli was, you'll see a forearm to the chest of O'Neill to get him out of the way.
It was very close, and the Yankees did not get the call. A lot of umpires go on sound on plays like that. Those gloves are so big. It's really how you have to make the call. The sound of the foot hitting the bag. If the foot hits the bag before the sound of the ball goes in the glove, then the runner is safe. If the sound of the glove beats the sound of the bag, the runner's out.
Now a check on Piazza, who's on with one out for Brocious, who's 0 for 1. After Brocious, it's Pettitte. Inside corner, strike one. Piazza's glove continuing to move after he makes the catch of the pitch. Move to his left on that cutter inside. Check on the runner at first.
And that's a very good point, Joe, because what that means is the action on Leiter's pitches and cutter is continuing once it lands in the mitt. That's always a good sign for a pitcher when that glove continues to wiggle.
To the right side, Zeal makes the out at first, throw down too late. And it's a runner at second, 2 out with Pettitte coming up. So Brocious grounds out to Zeal unassisted, and Piazza safe at second.
Fine play by Zeal, who makes the play, snow cones it a bit, steps on the bag, and then the high throw. Piazza safe. Piazza, it looked like, slid too late into second base. Jammed a knee, perhaps.
It's one of those plays where, as a runner, you don't know exactly what's going on behind you as you're running to second base. You don't know whether Zeal's going to throw to second for the force out or whether he has gone to the bag to make the tag.
Now it's Pettitte with a runner at second, and that's a ground ball foul by inches from tying this game in the 5th inning.
About 4 inches. That's where it landed. That's clearly foul. Not by much.
So if Andy Pettitte brought only one bat with him from the Bronx, he's going to have to borrow one for this next pitch.
Shaking those bees out right now. We laugh, but that is his pitching hand.
Yeah.
So should he be retired quickly here and have to go back out and take the mound, that may be a factor in his control.
Top of the order will bat for the Mets in the bottom of this 5th. What will the score be? 2-1 Mets right now. Runner at second, 2 out. Should stay that way. Alfonso getting over, and again one in on the hands of Andy Pettitte. He'll go back to the mound. Leiter will take a rest for the moment. He's doing his job on the mound and for the environment. Halfway through it, 2-1 Mets. A 2-1 Mets lead, bottom of the 5th inning in Game 5. This week on America's favorite pregame show, Cherry sits down with Colts quarterback Peyton Manning to get his thoughts about life on and off the field. Plus, the Vikings are off to a 7-0 start. Find out the quiet reason behind their undefeated season so far. Join JB, Terry, Howie, Chris, plus Jimmy and Jillian for the wildest NFL pregame show on TV. Fox NFL Sunday at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific, only on Fox.
Rough at bat for Andy Pettitte. Hit the ball off the end of the bat, foul down the third base line, then grounds out to second base. Another ball hit right off the end of the bat. See the reaction, both hands full of bees right now. Home plate umpire Tim McClellan actually gave Pettitte a little extra time to regroup before he began to throw his warm-up pitches, but he seemed to be able to control the ball and throw within the strike zone, at least in his 8 warm-up pitches.
So Agbayani walks in, top of the order for the Mets, with Alfonso and Piazza to follow. Agbayani an RBI single. He did that back in the second. Strike one. Agbayani had his 13-game postseason hitting streak stopped here last night. Benny Agbayani, TV stations here from Hawaii. Benny's the lead story on the nightly news in Hawaii. He fouls it back, and it's 0-2.
Benny received a call from ex-Met Sid Fernandez, the left-hander, pitching for the 1986 World Championship Mets. Day before the series started.
Agbayani went, and that's one out. Third strikeout for Pettitte.
Sid probably telling Benny, beware of that slider in the dirt out of the strike zone. Benny going too far.
So one out, and Edgardo Alfonso will try to get something going. This is as big a story as the Mets have right now. What has happened to Alfonso? He hasn't liked his approach at the plate. Said he came to the game yesterday with a different mindset, but he was still hitless last night. 0 for 3. He's 0 for 2 tonight. He left a couple of runners on back in the second. He's 2 out of 18 in this series. All-star second baseman, one of the best players in the game. Jeter, another one of the best players in the game. 2 out.
Number 31, Mike.
Here's Piazza.
The Yankees are doing such a good job on Edgardo Alfonso that when Mike Piazza comes up, normally it's with nobody on.
The advanced scouting done by the Yankees for this World Series, and they started early, like most teams did, knowing that they were going to be in the postseason. The advanced scouting done by the Yankees was so strong throughout their entire organization, seemingly at every phase. As Piazza goes into left center field, well hit, down into the wall. Piazza's got a 2-out double. The advanced scouts took care of Perez. They found a way to help these Yankee pitchers deal with Alfonso, but Piazza now 2 out of 3 tonight and 6 out of 20 in this World Series.
Breaking ball on the inside part of the plate. Talked about how Al Leiter found a seam on the infield between the pitcher and the first baseman. Piazza finds one in left center.
I really think that breaking ball to Mike Piazza is a dangerous pitch because generally it ends up down around the knees or lower. And as we mentioned earlier, he's a tremendous low ball hitter.
Intentional walk here for Zeal to put 2 on with 2 out for Ventura. And this is an easy decision for Joe Torre.
Most good low ball hitters are good off-speed hitters because most off-speed pitches have to be down.
Zeal is 0 for 2 tonight, but 8 out of 19 in this World Series, hitting the ball extremely well. And Ventura's 0 for 2 tonight and hitting under 180 for the entire postseason. He'll get a chance with 2 on, 2 out.
The only left-handed batter this season that has homered off Andy Pettitte.
Number 4, Robin Ventura.
Robin Ventura can make that claim coming back on June 10th. Strike 1. Piazza, Zeal the runners. Pettitte blew it by him, 91 miles per hour, 0-2. 2 on, 2 out. 2-1 Mets, and that's outside. The numbers for Ventura in his career against Pettitte: 5 out of 19 with 2 home runs. The opposite way, Justice back, inning over. So the intentional walk to Zeal after the double by Piazza works. Ventura's 0 for 3 and after 5 in Game 5, 2-1 Mets. Budweiser blimp and its eye in the sky camera. I'm proud to provide you with these live shots 1,000 feet above Shea Stadium throughout New York for tonight's Game 5 of the World Series. To all baseball fans, this Bud's for you. Al Leiter back to the hill. Top of the order for the Yankees: Vizcaíno, Jeter, and Justice. 2-1 Mets. Down 3 games to 1. Vizcaíno takes ball 1. Jose is grounded out, struck out. One of the heroes back in Game 1. 1 ball, 1 strike.
After that 4-hit game in Game 1, including the game winner in the 12th inning, Jose has gone 0 for 10 since then.
Leiter stabbed it. 1 out. We want to send along condolences and our prayers to the Brian Cashman family. We understand the general manager for the Yankees, Brian Cashman, is not here. His wife, Mary's mother, Barbara Bresnan, died today, so he is not at the ballpark today with his family, and we're thinking of them. What a job Brian Cashman has done. Bob Watson set the foundation for this Yankee run, the general manager, as Jeter stands in. Was on Watson's watch that Jeter was brought to the big leagues, but Brian Cashman instrumental in helping the Yankees get back here. Some of the retooling that he did during the middle part of the season really paid off, and David Justice is at the top of that list. They toyed with getting Sammy Sosa. Sounded as if they had worked out a deal, if it was agreed to by Juan Gonzalez, but they went to Justice. And Justice ended up hitting 41 home runs, driving in 118 runs. Led the Yankees in home runs and RBIs after he was acquired. That's well hit into left field. Might tie it. Out by Yanni, back. It's a 2-2 game. Derek Jeter's gone deep again.
When you see that cutter so often, you start to look for it. The first pitch knocks Jeter off the plate. Missing with the second pitch, and Derek Jeter doesn't miss with that 2-0 pitch. The minute he hit the ball, Al Leiter kicked the ground. He knew it was gone. So did they.
Now it's Justice with a ball low and away. That makes it a 14-game World Series hitting streak for Derek Jeter. One ball, 1 strike. A 2-2 score in the top of the 6th inning. That's on the corner, 1-2. see that quiet confidence from Jeter going around the bases out in that Yankee dugout. They expect to win this game. End it here tonight. Justice went 2 out.
Interestingly, both home runs the Yankees have hit tonight were in about the same spot. First, Bernie Williams in the second inning. About bottom of the letters, inside part. Derek Jeter, bottom of the letters, inside part. Two pitches, same results.
Williams at the plate now. He made it 1-0 with that long ball back in the second. Jeter just tied it at 2, and there's one inside for ball 1. Mets in the bottom of the 6th inning will have Trammell, Payton, and Abbott against Pettitte.
Leiter has tried to come inside twice, and Williams has made him pay twice. I don't think he'll come back in there, especially with the count 2 balls and no strikes.
Low to make it 3-0 with Tino Martinez on deck.
Joe Torre will allow Bernie Williams to swing away on the 3-0 count. Choose your pitch.
A 2-out walk, and that's the first walk handed out by Al Leiter tonight.
You know, Joe, you talked earlier about how animated Al Leiter is out there on the mound. Probably the most animated player in the big leagues. Great shots back in the 4th inning after the base hit by Bernie Williams. It's a good thing he has ears, or he'd have pulled that hat all the way down to his shoulders.
Here's Tino Martinez with 1 on, 2 out. Go ahead run at first for the world champion Yankees, and a check on Williams. Al Leiter does not have a great pickoff move.
Bernie Williams does not have a good move to second base either. Only 13 stolen bases. One of the big reasons why he's not a good base stealer. His legs are too long. That makes him fleet in the outfield, and once he gets underway, he can track down balls that have enough hang time. He has a tough time generating speed from a standstill at first base.
Tino Martinez is 0 for 2. He's flying to left. He's fouled out to third. The Mets have blown a 1-run lead here in the 6th inning. Too far inside, a ball and a strike. Paul O'Neill next, either here in the 6th or leading off the 7th. McClellan was begged by Al Leiter to appeal down to the third base umpire, Charlie Relaford. Finally, he did it. Relaford said that Martinez held his swing. 2 balls and a strike. Runner at first with 2 out. And now 3-1. Yankees making noise here in the 6th inning. Jeter tied it with a homer, a 2-out walk to Williams, and a 3-ball, 1-strike count on Tino Martinez. Came into this game hitting .387 in the postseason. On the corner, full count. Williams will take off at first. To the shortstop, Abbott. Inning over, but not before damage is done. Derek Jeter is putting together figures in the World Series that match up to some of the greats in the history of this game. He goes deep to tie it at 2. Bottom of the 6th inning in Game 5. These two left-handers making their final starts of the 2000 season as Pettitte missed the inside corner with ball 1 to Bubba Trammell. It'll be Trammell, Payton, and Abbott. 2-2 game, bottom of the 6th inning now. The Mets facing elimination here tonight. The Yankees staring at another world championship. On a backhand, Jeter. Wide and out on a tag by Tino Martinez.
We said earlier that Tino Martinez saves the Yankee infield a ton of errors over the course of a year, and here's another one. Quick tag to get the sliding Trammell.
Heads-up base running by Bubba Trammell. The only time you should slide into first base is to avoid that tag, and he recognized that quickly and tried to get inside underneath the tag, but Tino got him on the back as he went by.
So 1 out. The batter is Payton.
I think he bloodied his nose. Looked like. No, perhaps not.
Ball 1 to Payton.
Over the years, we have seen all sorts of bad things happen to base runners who dive into first base like that. Dave Hollins of the Phillies, dislocated thumb. Kenny Lofton last year with a separated shoulder, postseason play.
Hard hit, bad hop, base hit. Payton is on with 1 out here in the 6th inning.
Was a bad hop, but Scott Brocious playing that no doubles defense at third base, and the ball comes up on him. He does slap it down. It's going to be a base hit. Knocks it down to prevent Payton going to second base.
We talked about this infield surface before Game 3. One of the tougher infields to play in all of baseball. A lot of bad hops on the grass as well as the dirt.
There's a hit. And now it's Abbott. He's 0 for 1. He was walked his last time up and then picked off. Strike 1. Got Abbott up now, and then the pitcher Al Leiter will be next. This is where shutting down the running game really pays off if you're the Yankees. Other pitchers, this is a stolen base situation. Strike 2.
Bobby Valentine telling us before the series started that his runners against Pettitte would perhaps try to steal third if they were on second. But forget about stealing second base.
Here's a spot with the number 8 hitter up. 1 out already in the inning. You would typically try something like that, even with Payton, who stole only 5 bases during the regular season. No balls, 2 strikes. 1 on, 1 out. And it stays up there. Go ahead run on for the Mets. First base with 1 out. Ball 1 to Abbott.
On September 24th, Andy Pettitte won his 100th game as a Yankee. It's a bit surprising that only 15 Yankee starters have won 100 games.
Last guy to do it, Ron Guidry.
1982.
Temperature has been dropping as this game has worn on. 61 degrees at the start of the night. One ball, 2 strikes on Kurt Abbott. That's foul. Abbott in the lineup tonight, taking the place of the injured and struggling Mike Bordick. Bothered by that sore right thumb. Bothered him last night. It's bothered him throughout this postseason. The numbers aren't good for Mike. He'll be a free agent at the end of the year. When will the end of the year be? Tonight? Or sometime this weekend? Again, the 1-2 to Abbott. Off the foot.
Off the toes of the left foot. Nobody's warming for the Mets. If Abbott does get ahead, Payton gets to third. It's going to be an interesting decision for Bobby Valentine with a man on third base and less than 2 outs. But with nobody warming, almost have to let Leiter hit for himself.
1-2 to Abbott. Up the middle for a base hit. Payton will hold at second. 2 hits in the inning, and now Leiter walks in.
The last time Kurt Abbott was on first base with 1 out, Payton was on at second. Andy Pettitte and Tino Martinez. Martinez was behind him at the time. He said whenever that first baseman's behind you and you're the runner at first, there's a runner on at second base. Beware. Andy Pettitte picked him off. Same situation right here.
Now Martinez in front of Abbott. Throw down to second, and Payton got around the tag. Derek Jeter was there, and the Yankees nearly picked off their second base runner of the night.
When that batter bunts through the ball, it's an automatic pickoff attempt. You know one of your middle infielders will be there at the bag to cover, and Jorge Posada comes out of the chute, puts the ball right on the money. Only good base running by Jay Payton allows him to get back in ahead of the tag.
I'll tell you, the play here may be for Brocious to charge in to go to Jeter at second base because Abbott is very conservative at first base.
It's to Martinez. He thought about third, throws to first. The sacrifice works. 3-4. And it's second and third with 2 out.
Well, the big thing you have to do on this play is to get 1 out. Not necessarily the lead runner. Martinez was thinking about that, but see, Brocious has charged in. So he's retreating to the bag, and Martinez takes the sure out.
That's one of those plays that's so much easier for a left-handed throwing first baseman. Keith Hernandez, who was part of the ceremonial first pitch here tonight, one of the best ever at that particular play.
That's right.
Up to 100 pitches, and number 101 will be headed in toward Agbayani. Again, more of an RBI threat in the leadoff spot. 21 RBI tonight, 60 during the regular season. Hayden at third, Abbott at second. 2 out, a 2-0 count on Agbayani. Good hitter in this situation so far in the postseason. Balls, 2 strikes. Agbayani 5 out of 10 in his career against Andy Pettitte.
That was a key pitch right there. If the count goes to 3-1, Agbayani could be a little choosy, but a check swing on the cutter right here. That's a big strike right there. Now Pettitte can try to get him to go out of the strike zone.
Pettitte steps off as Payton flashed down the line at third. Agbayani trying to untie game number 5. Jeter getting over. The Mets get 2 hits. They strand 2. They've left 8. A 2-2 game after 6. Back after this from your local Fox station. This game goes to the 7th inning. This Sunday we're bringing the tailgate party to you with NFL This Morning on Fox Sports Net. A full 2 hours of morning madness to get you ready for kickoff. Chris Myers leads the NFL This Morning breakfast bunch for Chalk Talk, Trash Talk, Bagels, and Donuts. Add in comedian Jay Moore and you get the most raucous and rocking Sunday morning pregame show anywhere. NFL This Morning this Sunday at 10 a.m. Eastern, 7 Pacific, only on Fox Sports Net on your local cable or satellite provider. 7th inning of game 5. And Al Leiter back to work. Paul O'Neill, Jorge Posada, and Scott Brocious, the 6, 7, and 8 hitters, will bat for the Yankees. O'Neill hitless tonight. Hit in all of the first 4 games. He struck out. He's grounded out. Ball 1. Out in front, 1 ball, 1 strike.
Joe, I was interested in your question to Joe Torre before the game, a good cutter from Leiter. It's 1-1 to O'Neill, about whether Paul O'Neill is going to come back next year or not. And Joe said quite candidly, it's his call. He can play for me. That's a quote from Torre before the game.
2 balls and a strike. Said Paul O'Neill hasn't decided whether he's going to even play anywhere next year. Misses his kids during the season. He's winding up his career one of these years. This might be it, according to Torre. 2 balls and a strike, now 3-1. We talked about that loyalty between these two, and Joe Torre is as big a fan than any that are in the Paul O'Neill camp.
Loyalty pays off, doesn't it?
So far, 9 out of 18 in this World Series. It has paid off. Looking for a pitch to hammer here on 3-1. A leadoff walk. Yankees put the leadoff man on here in the 7th inning.
It was the 1-out 10-pitch walk to Paul O'Neill that allowed the Yankees to eventually tie the game in the 9th inning against Armando Benitez. That was game 1. They won it on the Vizcaíno hit. Might add, if you're looking for a bunt, forget it. Posada has not sacrificed all year.
Go ahead run at first for the Yankees with nobody out. Posada 1 out of 2 tonight. Ball 1. Got Posada up now, Brocious on deck, and then the pitcher spot. There is action for the Yankees out in their bullpen. That'll play for Agbayani. 1 out. O'Neill stays at first. Here's Al Leiter talking about pitching to this New York Yankee lineup.
They have so many guys in that lineup that could care less if there are 2 strikes on them. Foul pitches off, go deep into the count. That makes it a lot more difficult on the pitcher because you realize that every pitch has to be a quality pitch. And I respect all of them and understand and know that they have a good game plan against me. They know what I'm trying to do, and I also know what they're all about. So that's the whole fun of the cat and mouse of pitcher, catcher, hitter.
1 on, 1 out here. Pitcher Leiter, catcher Piazza, hitter Brocious. Strike 1. .273 averages. Knobloch starts to get ready and now takes the batting glove off with Andy Pettitte in the on-deck circle. He was going to be the one. Still may if the situation is right. 1 ball, 1 strike. But Pettitte is out in the on-deck circle.
There's a runner on at first, and Joe Torre elects to use a pinch hitter. He'll probably go to Glenn Allen Hill for extra base power. If he needs a single, if O'Neill's on at second, he'll go to Knobloch, I would think.
You heard that from Al Leiter. He said prior to yesterday's game, I've already thought Jeff Nelson's getting loose. Already thought about their lineup. Pretty sure what their lineup's going to be. I know what I'm going to throw to the first hitter. I've thought it through already. 1 ball, 1 strike. Brocious pops it into right. Trammell coming on. 2 out. And with that out, Andy Pettitte stays in the game. This time he remembers to take his jacket off.
Number 46.
And with 1 on, 2 away, top of the 7th inning, Andy Pettitte, who is 0 for 2 tonight, including the postseason with the regular season 0 for 7 on the year, he stands in.
Well, Joe Torre, true to his word, telling us that he wants to get 7 innings at least out of Andy Pettitte. He's gotten 6, and that's why he's hitting here.
Taking a page out of the Al Leiter hitting book. Strike 1. Al Leiter doesn't move around all that well. He had arthroscopic left knee surgery about a year ago, right after the season ended for the Mets, when their season came to a close after Game 6 in Atlanta of the League Championship Series. Showing it again. Didn't offer at it. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Crowd here does not agree. Did he pull it back in time? I think so, yeah. Good call.
So a 1 ball, 1 strike count. Mets in the bottom of the 7th inning will have Alfonso, Piazza, and Zeal. He signs the "I believe, we believe" in all different shapes and sizes. Same message. On the corner, 1 and 2. They've been bringing signs into this ballpark since 19 1964. Mets' first year was 1962. That team managed by Casey Stengel. Zeal. Time to stretch. Casey Stengel talking about the fan support and the signs with the early days for the New York Mets.
I even have to stop and look at them. I think I made 15 mistakes this year reading the placards instead of watching the pitcher or watching the hitter to take my men out. Now I'll have to say another thing about it. They're sticking with it.
Flying overhead, the Bud 1 airship joining us for this World Series. One of the coolest nights of this World Series. Budweiser, the official beer of Major League Baseball, and the 2000 Subway Series. The Mets hoping to put this Subway Series back on track and send it to the Bronx.
This is the best half inning for them to do it, too, with the meat of their lineup up.
Alfonso Piazza's Zeal against Andy Pettitte. Ball one.
Back in that game one start for Andy Pettitte, the seventh inning is when he ran into trouble against the Mets after a quick out. He gave up back-to-back singles. He walked a man, Bubba Trammell, with a pinch hit single to drive in a couple runs. Later in the inning, Edgardo Alfonso drove in a run.
Here's Alfonso with a count of 1 ball, 1 strike. Alfonso leading off. 2-2. The Mets have scored in only 2 of the last 15 innings. The second inning tonight and the third inning last night. Other than that, dominating pitching from the world champs. Two to Alfonso. Left side base hit. A good start to the 7th for the Mets.
Number 31.
Alfonso, a very good low ball hitter, as he proves right here. This is one of those situations where you do not guard the line. You hope that Piazza hits a ground ball. He hits it at one of the middle infielders.
Ball one. Piazza tonight against Pettitte. 2 out of 3 with a single, a double. Rare chance for Piazza to hit with somebody on base. One and one.
This is a very, very difficult pitching situation. Pettitte runs the cutter in. You've got a low ball hitter at the plate. And to get the ground ball, you have to keep the ball down. So Pettitte sets it up with the cutter, expect him to go back outside to Piazza to try and entice the ground ball.
Strike 2.
Came in there the third time. Third time, Piazza was ready. Top hands, that one.
former 62nd round pick of the Dodgers in 1988 waits. One on, nobody out. 2-2 game. Game 5 of the 2000 World Series. Vicious swing by Piazza.
You can tell by the body language right there. Mike Piazza disappointed he missed that pitch.
Check on Alfonso. Two balls, two strikes. Mike Piazza, the on-field leader for this Mets team during the season. 38 home runs, 113 runs batted in. Into center field. Bernie Williams coming to get it. One out. Back to first is Alfonso. Big out picked up by Andy Pettitte as he retires Piazza for the second time tonight.
Well, that's some job of pitching by Andy Pettitte. After missing inside with the first pitch, 4 straight fastballs in the same spot. Up and in. He tries to hit with a backdoor slider. Back to the fastball to get Piazza. Fine job of pitching by Andy Pettitte.
You know, it's one thing to have a scouting report on a hitter, how you want to go about getting him out. It's another thing to execute it as well as Andy Pettitte did right there to Mike Piazza.
Now it's Zeal. Go ahead run at first with 1 out, 7th inning, a 2-2 game. Zeal tonight is bounced into a force out, struck out, and been intentionally walked. Strike 1.
It is rare when Todd Zeal goes up and swings at the first pitch, particularly if it's a breaking ball. He swung at fewer first pitches than any other National Leaguer this year. But he'll cross you up occasionally.
3 home runs in his career against Andy Pettitte. Nicely played by Posada. Ball 1.
Good glove work by Posada. Sometimes you don't catch it, or you don't block it, you just catch it, like a first baseman.
Ball and a strike on Zeal. 1 on, 1 out. 2-1 with Ventura next.
Well, before the World Series started, Bobby Valentine told us that he would hit and run with Todd Zeal more than any other Met. It's obviously a hit and run count, but he's been reluctant to run up to this time because of Pettitte's move.
Not running. Zeal took strike 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 21 pitches on the night for Andy Pettitte. The 2-2. Full count.
This is the third situation that Valentine has had tonight with a runner on at first, 3-2 the count, and 1 out. You've got to send him this time. Of course, he said you had to send him the other 2 times too, but he didn't.
Not running. Seal strikes out. 2 gone. It's up to Ventura.
Curveball fouled off. And now the play by Posada comes in handy. On the 2-2 pitch, he misses with the fastball, and Zeal out on the curve. Tightly wrapped curve it is.
Now Ventura. Strike 1. Talk about trusting your stuff with Andy Pettitte going to a 3-2 curveball.
Isn't that the truth?
It's inside. A ball and a strike on Ventura, who is 3 out of 19 in this World Series. Andy Pettitte working in the 7th. Breaking ball is over but low, 2-1. Trammell, who's been on base twice tonight, waits on deck. Down the line and foul. Full count. Think they'll send the runner here?
Yes.
Okay. Just checking. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Runner at first, 2 out. That goes without saying.
Tino Martinez playing behind him, but because of the pickoff of Kurt Abbott earlier, you can play behind him now because Alfonso's not going to wander off too far anyway. It's almost like holding him on.
(3-2). Ventura strikes out, and Andy Pettitte threw 7 strong innings. Back-to-back strikeouts to end the 7th, 5 on the night. The 2 left-handers coming in tonight. Al Leiter, Andy Pettitte threw 7 innings in Game 5. Tied at 2. Chuck Knobloch will be the pinch hitter, bat for Vizcaíno to start this 8th inning. Take on Al Leiter, a 2-2 game. So Knobloch, Jeter, and Justice. Vizcaíno 0 for 3 while he was in there. Ball 1. Knobloch was not in the game last night. Pinch hit to start the 9th inning in Game 3 and led off the 9th with a single against Benitez.
And in all probability, Chuck will take a strike off Leiter.
It's 2-0. Leiter guides one in there, 2 balls and a strike. Pitch number 104. There's ball 3 to Knobloch, 3-1.
Empty.
That's bullpen empty as Leiter brings home the 3-1. Now a full count. Big rip by Knobloch.
A lot of times you take that 2-0 pitch, you're going to get a fastball down the middle, 3-1. Pitcher's thinking you're taking again.
Three-two pitch. Do it again. Knobloch trying to jumpstart the offense here in the 8th inning. Piazza. 1 out in the 8th, and that was not easy.
Knobloch went after ball 4, number 1. Mike Piazza waited a long time for that ball to come down. Eyes as wide as saucers. That was close.
Now Jeter, who's 1 for 3 tonight with a home run. Sixth inning. That tied this game. Leiter's second home run allowed tonight. Bernie Williams back in the 2nd, leading off. Jeter with 1 out in the 6th inning to tie the game, and now Jeter bats with 1 out in the 8th inning. And Leiter keeps it away from him. Ball 1. Justice next. Balls, no strikes. Two and 1. Derek Jeter, only 26 years old. Talked about the World Series numbers that he's piling up. He's hit in 18 of the 19 World Series games that he's participated in. And on top of that, a 14-game hitting streak with that home run back in the 6th. Now John Franco, who's worked each of the last 2 games, is getting loose for the Mets in their bullpen. 2-1 to Jeter. Tied him up. Good pitch. 2-2.
Managers have telltale signs that they can tell when a pitcher still has his stuff. A 2-0 fastball fouled away and a 2-1 fastball with a check swing. So Leiter's still throwing the ball very, very well.
Top of the 8th, 2-2 score. 1 out, nobody on, and a 2-2 pitch to number 2.
Leiter very demonstrative on the mound. He wanted this pitch, but it was low.
As it was with Knobloch, a 3-2 pitch coming to Jeter. 2 out.
Well, you are seeing 2 gutty performances by Andy Pettitte and Al Leiter. Jeter takes to 2-0, fouls the ball back the other way, and then a check swing. Another one back the other way, and a close pitch. Then a cutter, got it. You can see that ball cutting in with that tight spin to get Derek Jeter for the second out.
Now with 2 out, David Justice takes ball 1. Justice is grounded out, flied out, struck out. 2 for 18 in this World Series. Up the middle, Abbott to his left, can't make the play, and the inning continues.
Ball stayed down. A lot of times on a ball like that, guys in the dugout will say, stay down, stay down. That ball stayed down.
Now Leiter angry with himself out there on the mound. That ball was not hit particularly hard. He didn't make much of an effort to make the play on the mound. That made it a tough play for Kurt Abbott up the middle.
They've given Justice a hit. And now with 1 on, 2 out. Out to the mound is Dave Wallace. Bernie Williams tonight has had the best night of any Yankee at the plate against Al Leiter. He homered in the 2nd, singled in the 4th, walked in the 6th. He came into this game 0 for 15, and he'll get a chance to face Leiter again.
Dave Wallace going out to the mound to talk to Al Leiter, and obviously was none of those how are you feeling type of thing. It was how to pitch to Bernie Williams. He has hurt him twice with fastballs, cutters inside. A home run and a single, and walked his last time up.
Go-ahead run at first for the Yankees with 2 out. Bernie Williams at the plate. Ball 1. The Yankees have built a 3-games-to-1 lead. Bernie Williams going 0 for 15 through the first 4 games. Tonight, put him on top in the 2nd with a homer. Kept the 4th inning alive with a single. 2-out walk in the 6th inning. Bats with a man on, 2 out here in the 8th. And it's a 1-ball, 1-strike count. Gino Martinez on deck for the Yankees. For the Mets in the bottom of this 8th inning, it'll be Trammell, Payton, and Abbott. The 6, 7, and 8 hitters with Leiter due up 4th.
Get the feeling that Al Leiter is going to try to get Williams out away. If he makes a mistake away, it's just a single. Inside, long ball.
2 balls and a strike.
Show him that pitch inside, and then go back outside.
Leiter giving as much energy and action with his reactions after the pitch as he does bringing the ball to the plate. Williams hops out of there.
You don't see that too often. Home plate umpire Tim McClellan, because Bernie Williams was not looking up, and Al Leiter was ready to pitch, and McClellan went up to protect Bernie Williams and got him out of the batter's box.
Bernie Williams on 2-1, 2-2. We welcome you back to Shea Stadium, bottom of the 8th inning. Still a 2-2 game this Sunday. Catch the best professional figure skaters in the world as they compete in the Grand Slam Super Teams of Skating. Brian Boitano, Katarina Witt, Brian Orser, and Nicole Bobick headline a star-studded field of Olympic and world champions. It's round 1 of the Grand Slam Super Teams of Skating this Sunday on Fox. Check local listings for the start time in your area. Luis Sojo takes over at second base. Vizcaíno pinch hit for by Knobloch, and now Knobloch is gone. And now pitching is Mike Stanton after 7 strong innings from Andy Pettitte, allowing 2 runs on 8 Met hits. Joe Torre did make the double switch, meaning that Sojo, the new second baseman, will bat in the number 9 spot. The pitcher's in the number 1 spot.
And it might be the one time where you don't protect the pitcher, but you protect your only infielder that's left, and that's Luis Sojo. You don't know how it's going to play out. But Sojo is the last infielder the Yankees have, so the Yankees can't pinch hit for him if the pinch hitter is necessary. For instance, a Sojo against Benitez matchup.
Bubba Trammell against Mike Stanton. His World Series numbers are staggering. Breaking ball is over but low, ball 1. Stanton in 14 World Series games has an ERA of 1.08. Against the Mets since 1997. 11 innings pitched. No runs on 3 hits with 13 strikeouts. 1 ball, 1 strike on Trammell. As the Mets bat here in the 8th inning, realize that as a team, they're hitting .237 in this World Series. Bottom of the order, as that graphic showed you, has been the right spot in this Mets lineup tonight. That's backing out of play, strike 2.
I'd like to correct something I said. I said the Yankees were out of infielders. They do have Clay Bellinger as an infielder. He has been flip-flopped from the outfield and the infield, so Bellinger is available to play the infield if necessary.
A 1-2. Trammell to the left side. Brocious to his left. Good play. 1 out.
Keep in mind that Scott Brocious was guarding the line against Trammell. Had a long way to range to make the play. Nice.
Here's Jay Payton. 2 out of 3 tonight. 17 home runs during this, his first full year in the big leagues. 27-year-old rookie. 3 arm operations while he was in the minor leagues, finding his way to get to this level, batting with 1 out in the 8th inning of a 2-2 game, game 5, taking ball 1. Andy Pettitte in his 7 innings tonight, 2 runs, both unearned. 1-1 on Payton. Abbott, the shortstop, next. Straight back and strike 2. 93 miles per hour. The velocity has been impressive for Mike Stanton this postseason.
Even though Mike Stanton is a left-hander, as of course Andy Pettitte is, He has a different style of pitching. He throws a four-seam rising fastball and a curveball, a bigger one than Pettitte, whereas Pettitte throws the cutter and sinker. Also, you saw the splitter grip. Stanton will use that occasionally also. So a different type pitcher than Andy Pettitte.
1-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
That was the splitter there, hanging outside. The one thing you do not want in this situation is to get beat with anything but your best pitch. He's got 2 of them, a fastball arc curve.
Two to Payton. 2 out.
That looked like a splitter out of the strike zone, and an anxious Shea Payton goes down for the second out here in the 8th. Tumbling splitter out of the strike zone. One song we have not heard tonight, by the way, is Who Let the Dogs Out. The dogs are still in.
Is that in the category of a good or a bad thing?
Well, if you're a Mets fan, it's a bad thing, because when they're winning, the dogs come out. Woo!
Well, here comes Billy Connors out to talk. Bobby talked about these numbers at the start of the night, and this bullpen trying to stay strong here in Game 5.
And basically, it's been a 3-man bullpen this year for Joe Torre's Yankees. Jeff Nelson, Mike Stanton on the mound right now, and of course Mariano Rivera to close them out. Doc Gooden and Jason Grimsley, 2 other pitchers in the bullpen, have not seen action in this World Series.
And David Cohn faced one hitter, Mike Piazza, in the 5th inning last night.
Abbott now with 2 out, nobody on. Ball 1. On deck is the pitcher Leiter. Todd Pratt with his batting helmet on. 1 ball, 1 strike on Abbott. The Mets have sprinkled onto their roster a couple of emergency catchers in Todd Zeile, Joe McEwing. So Pratt's a possibility off the bench. Right now the 1-1 and Abbott in the hole 1 and 2. Stanton just blowing the ball by these Met hitters. The Yankees in the 9th inning will have Tino Martinez, Paul O'Neill, and Jorge Posada. Abbott waits for a 1-2 pitch. And Game 5 goes to the 9th inning. Yankees up 3 games to 1. This game tied 2-2. Well, the only change, it's not on the mound, it's out in right field. Timo Perez takes over for Bubba Trammell, so they improve their defense out in right. The same guy on the mound, Al Leiter, 9th inning. 121 pitches on the night. He's gone through 8, 2 runs, 5 hits. Postseason high, by the way, in the career of Al Leiter, the 121 pitches. Same for Pettitte with his 129 here tonight. Starters have been as good as advertised. And Al Leiter Leiter goes to work in the 9th inning, trying to keep it 2-2. Big bats for the Yankees. Tino Martinez first up. He's 0 for 3. Strike one. Run from Leiter as he let it fly, and it's 0-2. Martinez is gone. 8 strikeouts for Leiter,
who seems to be improving as the game goes deeper. That cutter and nasty, and Tino Martinez punched out by Charlie Relaford, the third base umpire.
Now it's Paul O'Neill. Hitting .500. 9 out of 18. A walk tonight, the only time he's been on base. Down the left field line, slicing foul. Bases empty. O'Neill trying to start something for the Yankees in the 9th. Leiter making terrific pitches. It's 0-2. Piazza next. Couldn't hang on. In and out of the glove. A little nod of the head from Leiter, like, hang in there, Mike, as Piazza just couldn't squeeze it.
Hit the heel of the glove instead of the pocket of the glove, and O'Neill stays alive.
Again, the 0-2. Again on a play. O'Neill struck out on a foul tip back in the 2nd that Piazza grabbed. See the intensity part of these two players. Al Leiter, Paul O'Neill. They do not hide their emotions, and in this situation, why would you? 9th inning, a 2-2 game. Game 5 of the World Series. Yankees trying to win their 26th World Championship. The Mets trying to force a Game 6 on Saturday night. 0-2 to O'Neill. 9 strikeouts and 3 in a row for Al Leiter.
And he threw 5 strikes to O'Neill. The first one, a foul ball. The next one, a foul ball, a foul tip, a foul ball, no foul.
Now Piazza, who's 4 out of 18 in this World Series, 1 RBI. During the regular season, hit 28 home runs.
A prevent defense, if you ever saw one.
Ball 1.
Third baseman on the line to prevent the double. The ball down the line. The outfield is deep.
Al Al Leiter is due to lead off in the bottom of this 9th inning. This could very well be his last half inning of the season. 1 ball, 1 strike on Posada. The New York Mets were confident, even down 3 games to 1. They handed the ball to Al Leiter for tonight's start. He has not disappointed his teammates or these fans at Shea. 1 ball, 1 strike. 2-1. Struck out Bernie Williams to in the top of the 8th. He struck out the first 2 hitters in this 9th inning, and he's 2-2 on Posada. Defensive swing from Posada.
Posada struck out 151 times during the regular season, 4th in the American League.
Pitch number 135 on the night, coming from Al Leiter for Jorge Posada. Down the left field line with foul. Again, Al Leiter, a man who grew up as a Mets fan, trying to keep the Mets' hopes alive in this 2000 World Series.
Close pitch. Probably thinking, how can Posada take this pitch? Very, very close.
Foul.
That's exactly why Ventura's on the line.
Two-out walk. And the top of the 9th inning continues as Posada reaches for the 2nd time tonight. Brocious will bat. Part of Scott Brocious' effort against the Padres in the World Series of 1998. The MVP of that series when he hit .471. That was his 2nd home run of that game. He has a chance here with a runner at first, 2 out, to put the Yankees on top at Shea. John Franco grew up in Brooklyn, rooting for the Mets, warming in the Mets bullpen. Pitch number 140 on the night. He got the outside corner. 1 ball, 1 strike. Luis Sojo would be next. Base hit. To second is Piazza. 2 on with 2 out. A walk, a single for Brocious, his first hit of the night.
And Brocious pulls one. Opening up for that cutter. So now the outfield will move into normal depth, and the one thing you can do against Luis Sojo is playing shallow in right field. Posada is not a fast runner, and if Sojo hits it hard to the opposite field, Perez has a very, very good arm, and there could be a play at the plate.
So with 2 on, 2 out, Luis Sojo will bat. Al Leiter with a season-high 141 pitches on the night. And Leiter's night continues. With Franco in the bullpen, the Mets stick with Leiter. Will score, and the Yankees lead 4-2.
It all started so innocently with the 2-out walk, the 2-out hit by Brocious, the 2-out hit by Sojo. Payton charging. The throw hits the runner. Brocious scores easily. The ball hitting the runner, it's 2 from the field, meaning 2 bases if the ball goes in the dugout, thrown by a fielder. As you can see, Brocious easily between second and third, so he scores after Posada. The throw was on line, but Piazza trying to block the plate. The ball hits Posada, and the Mets score not 1, but 2.
Bench as they take their second lead of the night. A 4-2 ninth inning lead. Bobby Valentine out to the middle part of the infield to talk to the second base umpire Ed Montague. About where the runner should be.
It's 2 from the field. If a fielder throws the ball and hits the runner and goes into the dugout, then there are 2 bases awarded. As you can see in the background, Scott Brocious was halfway between second and third. It's from the point where the ball goes in the dugout. I think that's what Bobby was talking to Ed Montague about, Ed, the crew chief. Here's the throw again. Hitting Posada. It goes into the dugout, and here's Brocious right here. You can see Brocious clearly around second base when the throw is made. So it's 2 from the field. That's why Sojo is on third, and Brocious scores.
Single RBI, E8. The long night for Al Leiter is over. And with it, the season for the Mets may be over. Al Leiter in the dugout has nothing to hang his head about here tonight, but he has given up 2 runs in the 9th inning, and the Yankees lead it 4-2.
And the hero of this game so far, Luis Sojo. Everybody remembers the pratfall in Oakland, Game 2, the division series. Everybody laughed because it didn't mean anything. Well, tonight, a big stop in Game 3 of the division series, a nicely turned double play. But tonight he stands on third. Right now is the guy with the game-winning hit. Of course, the Yankees still have to get 3 more outs.
John Franco has to get 1 more out in the top of the 9th inning with a runner at third, 2 down, facing Glenn Allen Hill. And that caught a piece of Piazza.
Looked like the right shoulder of Mike. Yep, right off the mask. The bicep. Boy, if that doesn't typify that man's year. Banged up, hands beat up, sore right knee.
Sojo at third with 2 out. Glenn Allen Hill batting for Mike Stanton, who pitched a perfect 8th. 1 ball, 1 strike. Al Leiter made 142 pitches on the night. And the only one that he'll remember over the offseason is the 142nd. Two balls and a strike on Glenn Allen Hill. Andy Pettitte, 7 innings, 2 runs, no earned runs. Posada started this with a 2-out walk. Glenn Allen Hill shoots it foul on the right side. 2-2. The Mets in the bottom of this 9th inning have the number 9 spot to lead it off. So it'll be a pinch hitter than Agbayani and Alfonso if anybody gets on Piazza.
Joe, the Mets with 45 come from behind victories this year, the most in the National League. But tonight they'll have to come from behind against Mariano Rivera.
Glenn Allen Hill trying to give the Yankees more of a cushion. Counts full. Balls, 2 strikes, and Hill pops it into left field. Agbayani to his left. And this game goes to the bottom of the 9th inning. Last chance for the Mets. Down 3 games to 1. They trail in Game 5 because of this swing of the bat by Luis Sojo, an unlikely hero. 4-2 Yankees. Bottom of the 9th inning, the Yankees lead 4-2. 2 changes. Clay Bellinger is in the game. He's in left field. That's been the plan for the Yankees in this World Series. Justice is gone, so Stanton. And in his place, Mariano Rivera, who is tied with Raleigh Fingers for the most saves all time in World Series play.
And in postseason play, he has 18 saves, 3 more than Dennis Eckersley, who is second.
Darrell Hamilton Hamilton will come off the bench and bat for Gianfranco. He went a third of an inning. All zeros as he retired Glen Allen Hill. Hamilton leading off against Rivera. Strike one. Strike two on Hamilton. No balls, two strikes. Hamilton's gone, one out. If the score stays as is, this is the Merrill Lynch play of the game. What else would it be? 2 on, 2 out, top of the ninth, and Luis Sojo with a base hit up the middle. Posada scored as the throw went into the dugout. Groshus crossed the plate. A 2-out rally and a 4-2 Yankee lead. Ball 1 to Agbayani. Luis Sojo is trying to add his name to a list of unlikely World Series heroes in Yankee history. Billy Martin in 1953. Bobby Richards in 1960 is the MVP. 1996, Jim Leyritz, that game-tying 3-run home run in Game 4. Luis Sojo tonight has put the Yankees on top of the ninth. Now with 1 out, nobody on. Agbayani looks at ball 3.
And now he'll take 2 pitches, the 3-0 and the 3-1. Give Mariano Rivera 3 chances to throw 1 ball to get the tying run up to the plate.
A 1-out walk, and the Mets have a life here in the 9th inning. Mike Piazza waits on deck as Edgardo Alfonzo stands in against Mariano Rivera. Tied for most in the majors with their 45 come from behind victories, the Mets this season. They trail 4-2 in the 9th inning of Game 5, and Alfonzo takes strike 1. Edgardo Alfonzo during the season, the first 2 rounds of the postseason. Last year in the postseason, a clutch hitter for these Mets. Runner goes on ball 1, up and out of the strike zone. And Agbayani's at second with 1 out. No stolen base. It takes that force out away at second base, which is a big play with Piazza on deck. A 1-1. Strike 2.
Alfonzo had a pitch to hit then. That's what you try to do with Rivera. You try to make him get the ball down. Alfonzo did. Good pitch to hit. Fouled it off.
Tuning in this game in Caracas, Venezuela. Luis Sojo from Venezuela, the hero at the moment. Edgardo Alfonzo from Venezuela batting with a runner at second, 1 out. And he pops it into right field. O'Neill. The New York Yankees Yankees are 1 out away as Agbayani tags and goes to third. 1 more out for the Yankees, and they will have a three-peat. It hasn't been done since the Oakland Athletics did it from 1972 to 1974.
But a big barrier right here in Piazza. Tremendous power the other way. And Rivera generates power the other way from a guy like Piazza because he throws so hard.
Tying run at the plate. Runner at third, 2 out. Mike Piazza facing Rivera. Strike 1. For the 3rd time in a row, 4th time in 5 years, and 26th time in franchise history, they are the world champions. This game ended right at the stroke of midnight with that stroke by Mike Piazza.
What a remarkable achievement in the age of free agency. Most people of the popular opinion that it's difficult to build a dynasty in this day and age. Well, Joe Torre, Brian Cashman, George Steinbrenner have done just that.